Welcome back, everybody, to our final match of the Starladder China Day 7. Also, the final match of the group stage. It is Vici Gaming up against Tongfu Wangzhou, or the only Tongfu squad now. And we've got ourselves, well, a match which doesn't mean anything for the rankings, but a match which should hopefully be enjoyable nonetheless. Not alone for this match, though. I'm joined by my fellow Australian. It is Cameron Bayskip. Scott, how are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, doing very well. Looking forward to this game. How about you, Guts?
I'm looking forward to this game. Vici Gaming, we're gonna hop. I just want to hop right into the draft. It looks like they may just be looking to have a bit of fun here. This is a Meepo ban.
It is. It is indeed a Meepo ban.
I'm confused, but I'll roll with it.
Maybe Tongfu Wangzhou or the next Fnatic, the support Meepo. But has anyone else even tried it? Has anyone even tried it aside from Fnatic? Because I know that they have some. They think it could be viable.
Dendy played Meepo one game, but it was like one of those matches.
Didn't he sub?
Wasn't. Yeah, it was a stand-in. That's right. Yeah. So, not the most meaningful of games as well.
Yeah.
So,
and I think we're on the same page as well at the moment that Meepo is not in the best place. I mean, you're a pretty prolific Meepo player, Gods.
I wish. And he's a core hero who you can't get BKB on. Like, that's ultimately his biggest downfall, is you can't go BKB. Which I guess is maybe Fnatic have the right idea. Play him as a 4-position support, but even as
he steals so much experience. He steals so much experience as well. Because the way that they were playing him is they had, one Meepo in each lane, pretty much sitting there, ready to move around the map and try and set up some ganks. But if the Meepo lives through a team fight, he steals 50% of all of the experience available for that team fight. So it can be a little bit. I don't even know if it ends up as a support then. But anyway, Meepo's been banned. We should probably chat about the other picks. And Vici Gaming go for Nature's Prophet and Clockwork. So I guess Clockwork mid? Is that the
Clockwork mid? They also get a Juggernaut too, which is like, well, this is not like a conventional draft by any means.
They could go Prophet safe lane, Clockwork mid, Juggernaut +2, aggro tri lane, maybe, depending on how they're feeling here.
Absolutely.
Should be a really fast tier 1 regardless, especially with Prophet and killing.
Clockwork also, like, not surprisingly, but good at pushing just because it zones out enemy heroes, preventing them from defending and drawing creep aggro because of the hook shot. So a hero who does fit quite well into lineups that want to try and push early towers, especially the outer towers. Once you start trying to push high ground, you can't really go hooking to the high ground, but in the early game, still quite good at pushing.
Yeah, the one thing about going aggro for Vici is that Timbersaw and Batrider are both just very good solos, either against the Prophet or the Clockwork here. But Vici Gaming, it keeps getting more and more interesting. Yeah, now the Centaur.
Maybe not the most serious of drafts. Like, with that said, I'm sure they'll still be looking to play, even if they're trying to have fun doing so. A Centaur pick, which puts one of these 4 heroes onto support. What's your guess for the support here?
I'm not sure. Honestly, I guess Clockwork or Centaur. It has to be one of those two. I don't think I've ever seen a support.
You don't think Jug?
Nature's
Roaming
Prophet.
Jug?
Support Jug?
Roaming
Maybe.
Jug?
Could be.
I mean, it's kind of like the same as a roaming Centaur. Like, it's not great, but it's doable. Like, you get a boots first or something,
All
we go
is
Prophet Jungle, but
yeah.
Prophet Jungle's iffy, very iffy. But
and then even then, it's like, I guess Prophet Jungle, Clock mid, Jug farming, Centaur off lane, and then some poor sap to be the solo support. It starts looking an awful lot like just a pub game then with your solo support. And,
Tiny Centaur!
Tiny Centaur! We're doing it, Gods. We're doing it.
You know, there's a lot of people who have rares on the line. 77% of people bet their rares on Vici Gaming, or their keys. They may be a bit worried right now. Not to say...
Context is important, right? When you bet, to realize that Vici Gaming, they can't advance, unfortunately, just because of how Starladder chose to break the ties.
Well, this could be an interesting game. Not to say this game is like something like, oh, Vici Gaming are gonna lose because they're messing around with these picks. Like these are scary picks. If you don't play smart in your Tongfu, you get just completely snowballed all over.
Yeah, if I'm Rubik or Visage here, I'm really afraid because at any point a big horseman could come flying out of the fog and you're just dead. So.
Oh. A big horseman who has a weird obsession with an earthworm called Neil.
Ah, yep, I saw that story as well.
Oh, man. Well, Timbersaur's great against a lot of these heroes. Like, he's going to be able to... Well, at the same time, he can be blown up, at least before he gets some items, but he's got the ability to burst down these strength heroes.
Yeah, these melee strength heroes tend not to have too fun a time against the Timbersaw. They don't really have a whole lot of counter initiation against the bat either. No real good targeted disables. They'd have to avalanche or stomp him, and that's it. That's all they have.
Hook shot. Is Batrider actually? Does he like go on the Centaur or the Tiny? Like,
who do you go on? Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. You try go in, you may get blown up. Viper's a smart pick here, though. That's like a nice tanky ranged hero. You want something ranged that can sit back, not have to get close to these heroes. Go for the mech, tank up as much as possible, and Viper gets really tanky fast.
Yeah, and if the Viper gets an Aghanim's Scepter, the 12-second cooldown...
Well, I mean, it's not like it's a carry Tiny, I guess. It's a support Tiny. Triple smoke! Wait, no, that wasn't all on the same team. Okay, 2 of those smokes were on the Dire side. I thought they were all Dire... I thought they were all Dire smokes. Just 2 of the 3 are. So, Centaur Tiny support.
Vici. Yeah.
Alright, let's see it. They've got the toss hoof stomp ready to go. Oh,
it's
man.
Primed.
Let's introduce our 2 teams before we get much further. I'll start with Tongfu. We're going to see Tongfu Wangzhou. We've got MT playing the offlane Timbersaw, CJZ on the Viper. We've got Batrider being played by UUU9, XBG on the Rubik, and then we have Blue. We've got Q playing the Visage, and I'll leave you to introduce our Vici Gaming squad.
Awesome. So over on Vici Gaming, we have FY playing the Horseman, aka Centaur. We've got Fenrir over on the Tiny. So he's Centaur's wonderful assistant for this game. I've got RTK playing the Juggernaut. I've got Sylar heading towards mid on Clockwork, and we've got Super, last but certainly not least, handling the Nature's Prophet. This is our second Super for the day, of course, but this is the other Super. This is capital S Super.
Sylar solo mid clock. That's going to be something. Not to say something bad, but where does Tiny Centaur go first? Do they look for an early first blood mid? They can kill theoretically any of these 3 lanes. Like that's the scary thing for Tongfu. Like they don't know which lane these heroes are going to show up in, and any lane they show up in with a toss stun, probably a kill. Or is this Prophet jungling? Oh man, you can't Prophet jungle. You gotta let Tiny and Centaur roam. I'm not a fan of this transition.
Familiar faces.
It is going to be a jungle. He picks up 3 clarities and he's going jungle.
Okay, so Vici Gaming just going to try and maximize the farm, I guess.
I guess they can get some early levels. Like, your Centaur went triple clarity. He clearly wanted to roam it. It seems like it was a last-minute decision for Vici Gaming to say, let's let Centaur Tiny get some levels top and put Prophet in the jungle. Like, this combo is still scary, even if, like, not in the first 5 minutes of the game. Like, later on, it gets even scarier once they level up their nukes a bit. So, hey, still feasible.
It's a really tough call, because I feel like, had the Prophet been top, the Tiny and the Centaur would have spent a lot of time on this lane anyway, just because of how bad the matchup is for the Prophet against the Timbersaw. So I guess this kind of avoids that, and they just get a little bit of extra farm out of the deal overall. But yeah, like you, I think I'm a little bit surprised that we're not going to see these guys moving around early. It
would have been nice to see them go for a First Blood mid, like level 1. Like Toss, Hoof Stomp, Clockwork could even go for Battery Assault level 1. Maybe he already skilled something different, so they couldn't do that, but they can't really... Tiny's going to try trade hits with Timbersaw. That's a losing battle. He's not going to come out on top of that one when there's a Whirling Death there as well. Centaur could get a stun off. They get... Well, chain their stuns right. Prophet's going to TP into this one. Empty may just go down. He's got no Timber Chain. First Blood, Vici Gaming, Tiny. The support Tiny, the Centaur assistant, gets the kill.
Making it happen.
All aboard the Tiny Express. Well, not just yet. We'll see some toss stuns coming into play soon enough.
And Super's just back to the jungle he goes.
That was just greedy from Timbersaw, not going for any Timber Chain. Like, the Whirling Death was good for when it was trading hits, but if you don't go Timber Chain, you have to play very defensive.
Yeah, I think he just underestimated the damage that they had a little bit there, honestly.
Yeah, and they had to have the Prophet TP in as well. I guess that's the other thing he's maybe didn't quite calculate for. As it stands, though, Vici Gaming get themselves an early kill. Tongfu, they've got this Rubik Visage, and these two supports, I almost like to see that maybe they want to be heading top to just take on these melee heroes, because Vici Gaming have a double melee lane up here, which is just so weak. And Viper can do just fine against the Juggernaut, so I'd like to see like the Rubik Visage either smoke mid or even all the way top lane, because they can definitely help out this top lane.
Yeah, you don't normally want the Visage to be moving around too much, but I agree with you 100%. I think there are definitely some kills to be grabbed here and there. And what's the plan? Okay, I thought they were gonna try and toss the Centaur, toss the Timbersaw back, but not gonna go for it.
Yeah, I need to keep an eye on this top lane. May as well don't want to avoid go away from this Centaur Tiny. They've gone for the 2 double edge, no points in the return. You don't really need the return against the Timbersaw. You just want all the killing power you can get. And Tiny doesn't quite have mana for his combo just yet, but he will in a second. And I think they can probably blow up Timbersaw from full HP with a toss stun double edge. Maybe not quite. Maybe they'll be a little short. But that's where Prophet can TP in as well.
Yeah. One thing that's worth pointing out, Starladder is actually doing really well in terms of CS on mid. And it's not because he's putting multiple points in Rocket Flare. He's just actually pretty much every single rank 1 Rocket Flare is getting him 1 CS.
Yep. And he's from what I've seen, he's been doing a good job just using the cogs whenever possible to harass this Batrider. Batrider's going to get an Invis and a Haste Rune. Super's just going to TP home. Is he actually going to get out of this one in time? It's going to be close. Just gets out. Back home. Safe and sound.
Toss back into the stop.
Ooh, oh, he gets the kill. The Tiny Centaur. If he got that Timber Chain off, the Centaur may have died there, but they killed him just fast enough. And Vici Gaming, they got the Trinkles on Centaur now as well.
It's
they
happening,
need some Arcanes on Fenrir. They'll give Fenrir this farm and he'll get his Arcanes. Like, Centaur will be a good guy. Yep, share the farm. And then we'll see some Arcane Boots up. And then it's all over. Timbersaw can't lane here when they've got Arcane Boots. They're also about to hit level 5 on Tiny. This lane is donezo.
Yeah, MT should still be able to scrape some levels out of it, but again, it's the flying horseman question. You have to be very careful. And Vici, I guess, pulling ahead. They've got a full jungler in the Prophet, so Gold pulling ahead there. Experience, however, is pretty much dead even, so Tongfu's still getting a fair bit out.
One more CS to go for his Arcane Boots. Viper picks up some early treads here. So not going to be going for a full-on mech rush. Timbersaw still harassing me at top lane, and there we go. Arcane Boots are online, and this is where they can just spam for days. He's looking for a stun at top lane, cancels at the one stun that was going to miss. That gives MT a pretty good idea that they're just going to go for him as soon as they can, so he needs to play very defensive. The toss not going to go on the Centaur there, but hey, Fenrir's got all kinds of mana and may just look for this kill. The stun is there, the hoof stomp's there, the double edge could follow this one up, and they get the kill with ease. They like bait him out with a fake toss, and then they go in with the avalanche. I like that. Like, he thinks he's safe because toss is being used.
I was like, oh yeah, they need toss on me. Not the case. They just use avalanche straight into the stomp. Unfortunately, this smoke was spotted. There's a Radiant Ward just over here that's about to fade, so this shouldn't get a kill. Unless for some reason somebody gets really greedy mid.
Visage is doing just that. He's showing himself.
Look at Visage.
Like, if they actually went mid, that's a kill. Like, Visage should not be positioned here if they saw them smoke. But they're going to get top instead. The Timbersaw's dead. Flying Centaur catches out the Timbersaw. The burst damage is there. They get themselves another kill. Oh, I love it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Absolutely fantastic. Arcane Boots will pop. He's got a clarity as well. FY with some all chat. And now
I wish I knew what that
bottom
meant.
lane. Viper gonna go down. Sylar on the roam now. He doesn't even need the hookshot for this kill. Super's just all over the place with these TP ganks. A bit of a lane switch as well. RTK switches towards the mid lane, not getting anything out of bottom, but it pays off. And here's Centaur Tiny. Toss in, stun, dead Visage. They can't do anything about this. Vici Gaming are just gonna start snowballing out of control. Oh man.
I'm imagining the collective sigh of relief from everybody that put their rares on Vici.
And they're gonna get themselves another kill. Yeah. Or maybe not.
Oh,
The
no,
telekinesis
it's
out of the
lifted
cog. Yeah,
no,
he's
he's
gonna
going
go back
back
in
in.
there. Oh, they do lose Nature's Prophet. Forces out a TP from Silo. This will be a bit closer. The Flame Break comes a bit too late. Doesn't quite get the kill, but there's another Centaur toss done in. Batrider maybe going to go down in this one. There's not quite enough damage. They need one more right click. The Prophet ultimate will secure the kill, but Vici Gaming going a bit too ham at the bottom lane. They lose 3, and that was even a Prophet buyback. I mean, I guess the Prophet bought back and got a kill, so wasn't too bad.
Still 2 kills going to the Viper, who's going to be very scary.
Yeah.
That's pretty much his mech handed
wow.
to him.
1500, yeah. Okay, now we look towards some towers being pressured by Vici Gaming. Centaur Tiny will come back alive, and it looks like Centaur going to TP bottom. Tiny going to do just the same. They realize, hey, look, they feed the Viper a couple kills. He's the hero they need to get, but there's an Observer Ward that's going to spot him out immediately. So Tongfu are prepared for this one, and like earlier, they shouldn't be looking to get any kills with this. I don't even think you look to rotate supports bottom to try and help out. I think you just avoid this Centaur Tiny.
Oh no, XPG!
5-10 minutes. Oh man, what are you doing there? The toss, stun, double edge, easy kill for Vici Gaming. He should not have been there. Avalanche will look to cover their retreat here. Without a Blink Dagger, there's not really any way UU9 can catch up. They may just go back in. They've got a, what, toss stun now? Yeah, they've got it. Hook shot, toss, stun to follow. CJ's dead. This is just so straightforward. He's got an urn now as well to heal them up because he takes a lot of damage with the double edge, but this urn will just keep him healthy, and there's going to be a stun. Toss again, the double edge is going to come, and this is another kill for Vici Gaming. What are Tongfu doing? They're just feeding kill after kill. This is a disaster.
It's just, it feels like it's a kill every 9
Pubtastic.
seconds. Or, yeah.
Pubtastic strats for the win, and there's another toss stun. Oh, Tongfu, man. I don't know. There's probably people out there who are like, man, I bet on Tongfu, I've got a good chance. Like, they've got a solid draft. They're against some Vici Gaming who are kind of trolling. But no.
Nope.
No soup for you. Stop
Tiny
playing
plus
Batrider.
Centaur. This is looking really legit. Gotta say.
This is the kind of games which make me like not want to play pub games for a good week or so because you're just going to see it every single time. I guess it's not like a
CJZ.
single person one.
Flying Horseman.
Oh dear. Tongfu just don't have an answer to this. What is the answer?
What is the answer? Yeah, exactly.
Too strong. Too strong.
You 5-man, you're gonna get 5-man hoof stomped. There's no solution.
You've got the Clockwork as well, like, so even if you got a lot of numbers there, Clockwork can take out 1 or 2 of the heroes who don't get hoof stomp. You haven't really even seen Juggernaut come into play, but he can theoretically take out a lot of heroes, and you've got Super on the Prophet TPing in, so they've got all kinds of options, Vici Gaming. But let's keep an eye. I'm about to say, I looked away from the Centaur Tiny for a second, and they were about to go in again, so...
That can only be a mistake. Looking away from the Centaur Tiny. These guys are the stars of the show, this game.
Look, FY and Fenrir show that they've got some definite pizzazz about them. We're going to see Sylar going for a kill. Looks like he's solo killed the Batrider. Doesn't even have the Firefly. Ooh, not quite enough damage. He uses the hookshot on this one. We'll get the kill. Meanwhile, bottom lane, it looks like the set... Oh, no, that wasn't bottom lane. That was mid lane, the Centaur Tiny coming into play. Rubik going down. This combo. Too much. They go Dagon, surely. Like, both of them go Dagon.
Bye, Q.
Timbersaw can't even get there in time.
Well, everyone's just dying too quickly. This Visage and the Rubik can't get anywhere
You can't
close.
TP in, you can't counter gank this. You're just instantly dead.
They need more bracers, gods. We gotta listen to Zhao 8. He'd know what to do.
Look, we're gonna see some Dagons come on this Centaur Tiny, and then it's all over.
Tiny's got a point booster. That's boring. I think that should. I'm with you on the Dagon plan.
At least go like, well, you don't want to go Blink Dagger. Yeah, you don't need Blink. You've got the Centaur there. Full stuff is kind of okay. Shadow Blade, maybe. That's a neat little item. We'll see what Centaur's picked up a Perseverance. Is this Battle Fury? Dare I say it? No, he's probably going Lincolns for Batrider.
Yeah, I guess it's probably just the Lincolns for the bat.
Batrider's picked up a kill mid lane.
He does have his blink.
It is. I mean, he got it like 11 minutes in, so
Not bad.
He was mid. What? It was it was actually a Batrider mid. We haven't seen mid Batrider in a long while, but I guess it was against the melee hero, so it went okay for him. We'll see.
I guess the one solution is to kill one of the two heroes, right? And then they can't throw Centaur at you if he's dead.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
That sounds like a tough plan, man. I don't know if this Centaur Tiny's going down. This Centaur's pretty beastly.
Uh-oh. CJZ! It's too late!
Ooh. Blink stun, the double edge. He's actually pretty tanky, though. They're going to use an Omni Slash just to secure the kill. And Rubik now in all sorts of trouble. He TP'd into this one. He may go down as well. He stole an Omni Slash, but he's got no mana to use it. He'll pay the price. Another... Oh, TP cancelled. Syla on the front lines. We've got the healing ward to get them back up and healthy, and it looks like we will see this tier 1 tower take a fall. There's just nothing Tongfu can do. This is too strong.
Yeah, and Vici Gaming, they come out of a fight, they're all pretty beefy, they get topped off by the healing ward, and just keep on going.
Yeah. Pop the arcane boots, and they're going to look for a toss stun as soon as possible. On the high ground, oh, not going to get the Visage. They find the Batrider instead, the double edge to follow, and it's nothing that you can do if you're Tongfu. Everyone just gets blown up. The Timbersaw maybe the next take a fall doesn't get caught in the cogs, it's caught outside of it, but that pushes them as well. The double edge comes in, Soul Assumption will finish off the Centaur, so they've killed off one. Is this going to be enough for Tongfu to turn this fight around? They're all pretty low level, respawning fairly fast. Syla going to be the next one to take a fall. There's a spin coming out from a Rubik. 2 for 3 trade currently, although, I mean, Tongfu lost a lot of heroes before the dead Timbersaw and Batrider, so not sure how much of a 2 for 3 trade it really was. And there's a toss Juggernaut, toss spin.
I think they're just waiting for somebody to come around the corner, honestly. Or CJZ to go far enough out.
They've got such good vision around this mid lane.
Yeah, they've got some great wards.
Oh no, they got the damage for this one. He hasn't got his mech yet. Toss stun doesn't get the toss on the Viper, unfortunately. They need to get the combo.
Yeah, also when he tossed Juggernaut, if you toss Jug while he's spinning, it cancels his spin.
Oh.
So it's one of 3 things that can cancel Juggernaut's spin in like the whole game. So yeah, that was really unfortunate. Not only did they not get the double damage on the Viper, they stopped the spin.
One way to troll your teammates.
Radiant's top tower is
Arcane
under
Boot picked up for your
attack.
what are you doing getting Arcane Boot Vici? Do you Bracer Gaming, man? Like Bracer Gaming or like some form of HP. He needs survivability. Arcane Boot is definitely not the way to be going right now. Well, we're gonna see a lasso in a mid. IRTK could be in a bit of trouble here. He's gonna be burst down. He pops the Blade Fury off. On the run, does still have an Omni Slash if he can use that to stay alive a bit longer. Clockwork, just letting him die, man. Syla, where are you? Get in there. Like this Centaur, the Centaur just mans up, takes out one. Looking for some more here. Timbersaw going to go chasing after him. Centaur may take a fall, it looks like. Getting very low. One more Timber Chain will bring him down. Meanwhile, the Tiny, he's kind of been left alone here. On the run. So Vici Gaming lose multiple heroes there. This is actually buying back somewhat unnecessarily. It's still not one for Vici Gaming, despite the kill lead. And well, 10k gold lead, so it's looking good, but not in the bag just yet.
No, they've cut out super bottom lane as well.
Yeah, they'll actually get this kill. Vici Gaming just getting a bit cocky. I mean, they've been just like playing some relaxed fun Dota from the get-go, but hey, why not? As we look towards Tongfu possibly getting themselves slightly back into this game, but I just feel like ultimately Tongfu don't actually scale that well towards the late game. Like their only real damage output is a Viper whose job is to tank up more than deal damage. As for Vici Gaming, they've actually got a Nature's Prophet who's a good, decent late game carry. They've got a Tiny who's almost completed an Aghanim Scepter. So Vici's Gaming's late game is definitely much more scary.
I think you would be wrong to discount the Timbersaw, though. He's almost level 11 as well. I mean, he had a really hard start, so it can be easy to forget about him a little bit in this game, but I think he's made a good recovery. And against Vici Gaming's heroes, he's extremely potent, especially since none of their melee strength heroes really love buying BKB that much. And Sylar's going for what looks like an Ags, Fenrir is going for an Ags, so the Timbersaw is going to be scary for a very long time.
He almost needs to be the hero they target first. Like with the toss stun, they want to burst Timbersaw down before he can even cast a single Whirling Death in a fight. And with only 1100 HP, that's very possible to do if they want to.
Oh no, gods! I'm getting a bad feeling of, but
Oh,
Let's see.
From the last game's Roche fight.
From the last game, yeah.
Oh.
This feels like a very similar position, but hopefully
There's no
fight goes
AA
better for
clockwork.
Vici. Yeah.
No AA clockwork for Tongfu. They've only got the Blink Dagger on Batrider, so he can grab someone, but he can't actually pull them away from the pit. We'll see the Familiars come in, but he just goes to the Jug, so... ROTK picks up the Aegis for himself, and, well, they're not going to find too much here. They're smoked up, Tongfu. Juggernaut just going on his own for a little venture down in the jungle. He's only level 10, so he doesn't have the level 2 Omni Slash just yet, but not too big of an issue. And Centaur Tiny Man. Oh, Centaur's going Bloodstone, I think. Ooh, it's been lassoed. The Tiny. The Clockwork hookshot is going to disengage that. The Cogs go out as well. Clockwork taking a ton of damage here. The Batrider, he's being chipped away at, but not quite enough damage to bring him down. It looks like Vici Gaming have lost the Clockwork. They'll lose a second in the Centaur in a second. He goes down, so 2 for 3 so far, and Vici Gaming can't really take this fight. The Juggernaut's already used his Omni Slash. He gets forced back. No chase as he's got an Aegis. That's actually super. He's going to TP out, so... Tongfu are winning these team fights.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, that was their initiation as well, and then Vici scrabbled to try and save the Tiny, so things didn't quite go as expected there. And really nicely played by the Rubik. I think he started off with a hookshot, and then he hookshotted in and stole Stampede. So that helped out a lot in that fight, despite the fact that he got Omni Slashed and died.
Yeah. Well, Vici Gaming may... they want to win this game, which we're not really sure if they do. Just want to sit back, farm their next couple of items, get a few more levels. Super's got his Shadow Blade. May want a bit more than that. He's going to go in towards this bottom lane. A lot of heroes coming here. They need a hook or something. The hook not going to land. I think he hooked their teammate there. The Centaur or the Tiny blocking him, and Super scattered out with the Shadow Blade, but they're not going to get that kill on the Viper.
It's strange to not see a ratty build on Nature's Prophet. I feel like I haven't seen a Shadow Blade in a while. It's been nothing but Necrobooks recently.
Yeah, it really has been. And even when it's not like Necrobook, it's like... Well, I've seen a few like more DPS builds, but not with the Shadow Blade. Like Luo goes for this Mjolnir build without getting a Necro build, without getting the Necrobook, which is kind of interesting. We have Clockwork just being a bit cautious here, not to get caught out, but... Vici Gaming, like, you've got a Centaur with 8 urn charges, but you can't really use them in a team fight. Like, sure, you've got a ton of urns, but they're not actually that valuable unless you, like, survive a team fight and need to heal a lot of your team up. Prophet, he's actually caught out at top lane. He may go down to the Timbersaw. Meanwhile, bottom lane, there's a Clockwork hookshot initiation. They're trying to bring down the Viper. They will do so. Have they got an escape plan here? The Centaur's a bit trapped here. The Hoofstomp gets stolen and used, hitting ROTK as well as the Centaur. Nicely played by XBG. He's having a pretty big game here. Looks like Prophet survived top lane the gank from the Timbersaw. Clockwork, another hookshot. Another hookshot on the creeps as well. This time Batrider's going to grab him, and that's the death of Sylar. He's got no way out of this one. Viper comes in as well, takes out the healing ward. Looks like not going to be able to chase too much further. That was a buyback from your Viper, though.
To kill a healing ward. Well, that's what he accomplished out of it. So, but a bit of an underwhelming buyback at the end of the day.
Well, we do see Vici Gaming just no longer really in that clear lead. The gold graph is still getting slightly more and more in their favor over time, but it feels like they're just giving up more kills than is necessary.
I think Vici do still have a pretty formidable late game. I mean, the Tiny is coming into his own as a carry. ROTK getting there as well. Looks like he's building a Battle Fury right now. And I don't know, I think this could get pretty interesting if it starts to head towards the late game. FY is disconnected, but no pause. So, I don't know. Okay, it's been called for. There we go.
Good to go. Well, he's got his Vitality Booster Perseverance, which all signs point towards a Bloodstone. Like, if you want to go hard or whatever else you get with the Vitality Booster Vanguard, you don't get that Perseverance along the way. It's going to reconnect in the game.
I guess it is just going to be Bloodstone. I'm not sure what it does for him, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, he dies and heals his team.
Yeah, I was thinking about team healing as well as slightly lower I mean, the respawn doesn't really matter. Like, you respawn faster, but the fight's already over. So the AOE heal, I guess.
Middle tower is under attack.
We'll see. Looks like Vici Gaming will want to defend this bottom tier 1 tower. They're keeping at least the Centaur Tiny down there. Tiny with an Aghanim Scepter now. That's a Batrider illusion. I don't think they'll get tricked by it. No, not the case just yet. As Tongfu have, for the most part, retreated out of this bottom lane. At least making sure not to get caught out by any sort of Vici Gaming aggression.
Yeah, they've shown, well, Tongfu have shown 2 heroes top, so I think Vici are going to try and make a move over into the Radiant jungle, see if they can find a pick-off. Their ward vision isn't great, though, so they don't really have a clear idea of where they could go and find somebody, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, we'll clear out the creep wave, and that's signal for the tiny Centaur to move out, go into the jungle, and hope they can find someone, but so far, not much is presenting itself. They get down a ward, which will help them a lot, but they're about to walk past a Radiant ward, and yep, they get scattered out. All these trees already chopped down. This ward giving even more vision than it normally would. But Tongfu figure out what's going on for the most part now. They see the tiny Centaur. They know they're in their jungle. And they may try and punish it. They're actually looking to move out towards them here. Although there's also a Juggernaut here, which is a bit of a worry. Ooh,
yeah, and if this fight breaks out, Super might be able to get the tier 2 top. Creep Wave's not in a great position, but he doesn't even have that. Again, doesn't really have a ratty build. He's going for this Orchid, so I think he's going to be turning up to team fights instead.
Ooh, Batrider trying to get the lasso off. There's a Sun Toss as well. This Batrider may just get blown up. Doesn't even get the lasso off. The Tiny goes down, though. FY maybe the next take a fall. The Stampede trying to help him get out of there, but there's a stolen Stampede from the Rubik. He's got all these urn charges. He dodges the Chakram. That's going to help him out a bit. Doesn't matter. He still goes down. Timbersaw picking up another kill, and we talked about it earlier. This hero just such a good counter and way of dealing with this Vici Gaming lineup. Juggernaut's Aegis is going to expire. This is where you kind of question, like, why did ROTK even take this Aegis? He's far from being the most YOLO player on this Vici Gaming side.
Yeah, there's no convincing argument, really, for anybody with it at the moment. I guess maybe the Tiny, but even then.
I'd say Centaur, because he's the one being tossed in and kind of dying generally. Even though he's not, he's like a, like kind of, well, he's not really a carry hero of any sort, he's just like a initiator, but he's the one who's often in the middle of a lot of enemy heroes. But
and poor U9 in that fight. I think he pretty much had the lasso on the Centaur, and then he hesitated and considered going for the Tiny, and then by the time he decided, okay, I'm going for the Tiny, he'd already been stunned. So it should have been a much more straightforward initiation for Tongfu there than it ended up being.
Still, like, Tongfu looking okay here. They get the 4 stuff on the Batrider. They're building towards an Aghanim Scepter now on CJZ's Viper. So the farm is there, and Timbersaw just needs to tank up as much as possible. The point booster looking probably for the Bloodstone, maybe even going to pick up his Soul Booster now just so he can get some more HP. Is going to make him a lot harder to bring down by the burst damage. And if he stays alive, he does a lot of damage.
Yeah, and they know that they're getting out-farmed as well, so they're going to try and go for some smokes, try and open the map up a little bit more, get that tier 1 gold that should be pretty easy to get if the fights go well. On empty, sound stop, bye-bye.
Nicely played. Even making sure they get the kill using a Stampede, and at this point, Tongfu, they're smoked up at mid lane, but they're not really getting too much out of this. It's a Centaur Tiny on the background. So they're going to get the Viper by the looks of things. He's getting low, not quite enough damage. The Tiny actually going to take a fall here. Viper's still alive, not for much longer. The Juggernaut Omni Slash. Is it going to get stolen here? Doesn't look like it. The silence goes on the Visage. Rubik now takes a fall. Nice hook shot in. The Centaur. He's the trade-off, but they've taken out 4. They're possibly going to make it 5 here. Blink is up soon. He gets the blink off, but he kind of walks back in there. A bit of a misclick coming out from UU9 and ROTK. He wants to chase the hook shot, though. Salah getting just cock-blocked by his own teammate, and well, they'll get out of there, but they probably could have gotten that Batrider there.
Yeah, but Vici Gaming end up winning the fight, and looks like they're going to get a tower out of it as well.
They haven't won a team fight in
back
a
on
while
their feet
as well.
Yeah. But that was just really good initiation from them. I mean, they started off the fight by dropping the Viper to 10% before Tongfu had any response whatsoever. And goes to show the power of the Timbersaw as well. He was dead that whole fight.
Yeah, without him in these fights, I think that's where Tongfu will struggle. And that's where I think Vici Gaming just want to go initiate on him almost every single time. Definitely the one main target you want to be bringing down. FY, he's got enough money. He's got his Bloodstone. Bloodstone coming out. What are the stats on that? How many times has Centaur gone Bloodstone in competitive Dota?
I can check. Are you interested?
I'm guessing it's a first.
Yeah, I would think that it would be a first.
Probably. I mean, I wonder how how many times even something like a Centaur Tiny's been picked up. Like that's a. I mean, obviously there's a lot of synergy there, but not exactly something seen in competitive play.
Yeah, not something that you see day to day. That's for sure.
As it stands, Vici Gaming still in a pretty good position here.
Yeah, this is a first.
15k lead.
At least as far as Dota is concerned.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
All right.
So FY's. Well, I don't know if he's carving out a spot for the Bloodstone. I'm still not really convinced about this from him.
Maybe he needs the mana pool for his Dagon. Maybe that's what he's thinking.
He's planning ahead.
You have all this mana pool now. Like, what are you actually using your mana pool for?
2 spells.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Tongfu kind of pressuring mid lane. This Timbersaur's positioning is really dicey because he can get jumped on so easily, and there's not really any way to stop him going down. We a stampede in. They look to initiate in. They're going on the. Actually, no. It's going to be the Vici. He's going to go down first. Timbersaur throws a chakram. There's going to be a clockwork hookshot initiation. That's going to bring down the Rubik here. All the heroes taking a fall here. ROTK can't get his Omni Slash off yet, but he gets out of the lasso. Now he's going to start bouncing around. Actually, hasn't bounced all too much. Luckily for the Batrider and the Viper, the Omni Slash went a different direction. Went to the Timbersaur, and that saved some of these lives here. There's going to be a TP behind. Super. Not going to find anyone. U9 just blinks to the side. We'll get out of this one, but that's a 3-for-0 trade.
And Vici going to take this. Are they going to take the tower top? No, okay, they're just going to head in mid. They're actually really good at killing buildings. They're going to Deso on the Prophet now, and they've got that Ags on the Tiny, so it's only going to take them a few seconds here. And no glyph for Tongfu either.
Oh, and they're going to get the Batrider. That's a freebie. Possibly Familiars too once they pop back up. Valor taking a lot of damage. Needs to be a bit careful. He's actually going to TP home. Yeah. TP's home. Just heals himself back up. Now the tier 3 tower going down. It looks like Familiar's also taking a bit of damage. Tier 3 is dead. Desolator plus Tiny with an egg. Looking like some pretty dead Raxes here. They're actually going to leave him standing for the time being, deciding they don't want to overly commit for this one. Well, that's Tongfu hold, but it's still Vici Gaming just kind of just walking all over them.
Yeah, Vici Gaming are absolutely steamrolling. They could split push top or split push mid and take Roshan. They're still in control of the majority of the map and still have only lost 1 tier 1, which just is a huge sign of how the early game went, where Vici Gaming were just absolutely dominant and Tongfu still haven't really recovered.
Alrighty. Well, it's one of those things, if they didn't get that early game steamroll, it could be like really problematic right now for Vici Gaming. You see regen room picked up by the Nature's Prophet, and with that, possible engage attempt on the top lane. Don't block another hook shot. For the love of God. Not going to do so. Hits this one on CJZ. CJZ gets orchided up. Doesn't have a BKB or anything. He's going to go down regardless. Doesn't even try and pop his mech. Just accepts his fate. And meanwhile, actually, Batrider picked off the Tiny. That was bottom lane. And now Centaur's left alone. Is he going to stampede, or he looks like he's just going to try hightail it, but Batrider's there. Flame break. A lot of napalm sacks. Forces out a stampede, and may not even... Okay, it will be enough. Super comes in as well. Nature's Prophet's here. They're going to maybe look to turn and fight this one. Clockwork, nice hookshot in. Catches out too. He's got a BKB as well. That's a dead Rubik. It's going to be a dead Visage, and have to see if Batrider can get his way out of here. He does blink off to the side. Looks like they know where he is. They want this Batrider. They're going to get him with the hookshot. GG is called by CJZ, and Vici Gaming put on a bit of a show here.
What a game. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I really did.
Yeah. At least the first like 10-15 minutes, that was a lot of fun to watch. It was just like kill every time that combo was up. It was, they got probably about 15 kills in a 4 or 5 minute time span, it felt like, and Tongfu, there was just no recovering from that.
Yeah, so that's a nice note, I think, to end the group stages of SLTV China, right?
Yeah,
that's
Vici
it.
Gaming go out with a bang. Like that was their farewell for Starladder Season 9, or the first season of the Chinese region. So hopefully see them again in Season 10 competing. But we've got our top 4. So IG1, Newbie Seed 2, Seed 3 is DK, and Seed 4 is LGD. So I believe the 1st and 4th seed play each other, the 2nd and 3rd play each other, and that's going to be our playoffs, which is a double elimination bracket. Any predictions as far as who you think comes out on top of the playoffs? Which 2 teams will go to the LAN finals?
Ooh, that's tough. I'm going to say what DK and LGD. I think they're both looking
Ooh.
really strong at the moment.
No love
What
for
about you?
IG? I have
Oh,
to,
I
IG
love
for
IG
sure.
as well. I love IG as
Like,
well.
IG is just beast mode right now, I think. But
Mm.
to
Are
me,
you
it's
convinced
I.
about Lua on
Oh
IG?
yeah, dude, Luo's
Yeah.
dude, that guy. He's like right now. I think he's my favorite Chinese player. Like he's just plays so many. He plays such a big variety of heroes. Like he's like a safe lane farming axe. Well, not well, it wasn't safe lane, but a farming axe, and he just plays whatever. Like he doesn't care. He picks. He has to play offlane prophet every now and then because YWF plays lifesteal, and he's just like, no problem, I'll go do that. Back in the Rattlesnake days, he was one of my I love watching Rattlesnake just because of Luo. Like he would play Storm Spirit or something and just go absolutely beast mode.
So are you IG and DK then as your top two?
Oh, DK, the way they played the last... Well, obviously yesterday they had a stand-in. The way they played today, though, again, was not very impressive.
Bit shaky. Yeah.
Especially the supports, like Lamb and MMY, just look a bit out of sorts. So I'm not convinced on DK. I may even think Newbie could give him a run. I think it'll be IG Newbie, I would say, right now.
Okay.
That's my
Well,
prediction.
if that's anything to judge by, then it should be a very very entertaining
Yeah.
playoff position to watch. Because
Absolutely.
yeah, anyone could take it, honestly.
Yeah.
So when does
in
that
theory, it starts... I'm thinking I can get the schedule up. Let me quickly find this guy. I think it's in a couple of days, I want to say.
Because we still have like 3 weeks for the European portion of the group
Yeah.
stage and stuff like that.
I guess, I
So
mean, you want to make
there's
sure the
all
Chinese
kinds of stuff
teams
going
can...
on.
Yeah, the Chinese teams, I guess, maybe need to get their visas or whatever it is, so
Mhm.
they have a bit more time to prepare. I'm trying to get up in any schedule. Here we go. I've got a China schedule. So the playoffs kicks off on the 18th. So there's a 2-day gap, 2-day break. The
Sweet.
18th, 19th, and 20th is the 3 playoffs days. So you have your 2 semifinals. It's a double in bracket. So yeah, three days. So cool.
I'm excited that
forward
it's
to
so
that.
soon. I'm gonna mark my calendar for sure. I feel like everybody should be keeping an eye on those games. But I don't know. Maybe I just love Chinese Dota.
Well, thanks for joining me for some Chinese Dota, Baseskip. For those of you who don't know, Cameron, you can follow him on Twitter at Baseskip. You also stream sometimes on your channel, twitch.tv/Baseskip.
Yep.
Or you
From
don't stream.
time to time. No, I do. I've just been still having issues with my stream recently, but hopefully it'll be sorted out soon. It's just
Well-
it's always been a headache for me. But anyway, thanks for having me on, Gods. It's always a
No
pleasure.
problem. Any last shout-outs or thoughts on today's action?
Nope, no shoutouts. As far as thoughts go, just always great to see Chinese Dota getting back into the swing of things, just because I think people were a little bit concerned to see what kind of form they were going to be in coming back from the long break, but I think things are shaping up really well.
Alrighty, well, that does it for today, guys. We're done with China. We've got 2 Europe matches coming up a bit later. I would tell you what they are, but I don't know. I don't even know what time they're at. But Zayuri as well as Myolini will be bringing you Starladder Europe action in probably 2, 3, 4 hours time. So stay tuned to Dota Starladder, the English coverage here on the Starladder channel. We're going to be back a bit later. But myself, Gods, you can follow me on Twitter at BTSGods. Big thanks to Basket for joining me, guys. We're going to be tuning off in a few hours. Starladder Europe kicks off, so stay tuned to Beyond the Summit coverage of Starladder. See you guys later.